purpose of this class is, so I'm going to do two classes. I'm going to do posture today and pressure as my next one. I don't really teach much technique. I don't really do much in regards to drilling. So it'll be mostly a case of you going, and then coming back. So I won't be asking you to do much, but hopefully this will make sense. So the general understanding that I have when it comes to jiu-jitsu is a power-based game, in that we have the general marketing that a smaller person can beat a bigger person, but that comes with a huge asterisk. Because this is a power-based game. This is we try and generate power, and we try and negate the other person's power as best as we can. So, an example is we talk about leverage. So if I have a fulcrum and a lever, if I push against this lever, the more I move towards the end, the more efficient I am. Like, you wouldn't open a door from the hinge, you'd open it from the handle. So if I choose someone small, for example, say she can generate 5 power as a random number, okay? So if she moves up this lever, it's a multiplier per power, so she gets 5, 10, 15, 20. So if she pushes at the end of the lever, she gets 20 power, right? Well, if I'm already at 10, because I'm bigger, like, I can be down here and generating a lot of what she can. If I do the right thing, like, I'm way more powerful than her. And so that's the problem with jiu-jitsu, is we have that big asterisk of a small person can beat a bigger person if they can make the bigger person do the wrong thing, and then the small person can do the right thing, and hopefully the numbers match up, and sometimes they just don't. And so we try and maximize our power. It's why when we go to competition, we measure, we sign up over 3 variables. We have weight, we have gender, and we have age. Because if I get a 60 kilo man and a 60 kilo woman, just through muscle mass, the 60 kilo man is more powerful, so we separate by gender. If I get a 90 kilo man and a 60 kilo man, the 90 kilo man is going to generate more power. And then if I get a 20-year-old 60 kilo man and a 50-year-old 60 kilo man, 20-year-old is probably more powerful because they're younger. And so we separate by those variables, because we try and hone in as power as much as we can to then measure skill. But then when we go back to our home gyms, it's an absolute division. We have every age, every gender, every weight, all going against each other. And the amount of messages I get off people saying that, oh, have you got any advice? I'm a 150-pound purple belt, and the 250-pound blue belts are kicking my ass. I'm like, well, sucks to be you. Like, I can't fix physics. Oops. And that's the problem, is that we're on the same team, and then we're fighting this absolute division, and people get sad. They do. Every small person suddenly going, yes, I am sad. And so the goal of this class is to try and fix some of those points, because I don't think we're using the maximum amount of power we can generate. I think we can do better, and I want to know how to fuck up someone else's. And so the first part we're going to look at is this idea of posture. So if I'm doing any other sport, like anything involving power, so that can be cricket, American football, rugby, football, weightlifting, rowing, anything, I have a posture, and it normally starts in my back. Like everything, I want to line up my back first, and everything kind of comes from here. I can't do much with a bent spine unless it's CrossFit, and I hate my vertebrae. Just lift violently through your back. So the first job I wanted to do is we're just going to fix our posture and feel what it's like. Obviously, there will be power problems. You have a small partner and a bigger partner. I can't deal with that. But the posture I wanted to try is you're going to straighten out your back. So you're going to draw a straight line from your ear rolls to your arseholes, if you've got multiple. Ass, I think it's called over here. Sorry. So a straight line. I'm not going to hyperextend. I'm not going to relax. I'm just going to draw a straight line here. I'm then going to align my knees. I'm going to turn my elbow inwards and put a slight bend in it. So I'm not outwards, I'm inwards. And I'm just going to not move. We're going to do this first. So this is an old trick I learned like I have no idea why it works, but I learned as a kid. It was like a party trick at school because I was a sad child. I got Bill, you are hench. I'll borrow you, sir. Okay, this is how I want you to feel this position out, because it's weird. I don't want you to tense, but I want you to relax. It's weird. Standing. So all I want you to do, this is weird. I want you to punch me in the face with my own hand. So, so put one arm here and put one arm there. And I'm going to resist. I want to push my wrist in towards my hand. I'll resist it, push. Now push, bend my arm. Bend my arm. Yeah. Okay, Aikido. Go. Do it again. Bend it. Bend my arm. Come on, Phil. Come on, use both hands. Put it on your shoulder. Go on, bend it. Bend it. No, it's impossible. Right, if I tense, it's easy for him to hit me in the head. If I relax, do it again. Bend it in half. Come on, Phil, you're a big man. So try that first, get that feeling of like going tense and your partner's going to bend your arm, then relax and feel it's really weirdly hard. And that's what I want you to feel when you're doing this. Can I borrow you again? So all I want to do is just attack me in guard. So I don't want to sweep me or anything, just not going to do that yet. Just try and break my posture, try and submit me, all those kind of things. And I'm just going to do fuck all. It's weird, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. Now, if I let you break my posture, it's easy to attack me. So we'll talk a bit about that in a minute. So all you have to do is just go align your knees, align your joints, straighten your back, and just relax into it. You're not tensing, you relax into it. If you want to feel that kind of relaxation position, tense it, get hit in the face, and then relax and just imagine your arm is like 8 feet long and it won't bend. Try that. I'll see you in like 2 minutes. Off you go. We attack the periphery, we attack the arms and legs. We try and get past the hands, we try and get past the legs if they're in guard. We try and get past the knees and elbows to gain access to the spine. It's pretty much everything you've ever done, ever. We want to get past the arms and legs to gain access to the spine. Once we gain access to the spine, we then break its posture. We limit how much power it can create. We then go back to attacking the arms, legs, or head. That's everything ever. Most people don't fight with good posture, so it becomes very easy. I don't mean just the atypical kind of guard posture. I just mean they have a weak spine. They're always, it's generally like you'll find that people, like if they're in guard, they're kind of relaxed with their back. It's easier to break their head down. But if they're in a good stance, like they're doing a row, it becomes very difficult to break them down. You have to break that posture for something to work. How about you again, Phil? Can you throw a triangle at me, please? In guard. So if he sets up a triangle on me, yep. As you saw there, just before you went, you pulled my head down. You broke my posture before you put the triangle in. If I don't let him break that posture, I'll let him have it. How weird does that feel?
Very.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. I just didn't let him break my posture down. If I let him attack the back of my head and break that down, I'm fucked. Yes, now you go. Drop my head. Even if I don't do the atypical kind of up here and just keep my back aligned. Weird. Yes. So I want you to feel that. I want you to like throw a triangle or any of those things at your partner. I just want to keep your arms in, bent. So you're not rotating out where you're going to get your shoulders collapse. You're going to keep them inside. Again, not straight, so you're not going to get horribly armbarred through there. Here, straight line. And just let your partners attack the triangle like that. Like feel it once where you get your posture broken. And then just keep your spine aligned. Here. And see what happens. See if it feels weirder. You might get caught in a triangle. I'm not saying it's perfect. But feel how much more difficult it is. Just attacking someone who has posture. And we'll look at more of the things. Off you go. It won't take long. What I said like half an hour ago is this is all a game about power. Like you want to limit the amount of power the other person can create and maximize your own. And then you got to realize how many times you fuck up your own power. Like I said earlier, like if I use a lever correctly and go all the way to the end, that's the correct way of using a lever. Now you got to ask yourself, like, are you even using it correctly? Like, are you just pushing from here? Like, do you not know how to use doors? And so that's the issue that now we're playing with this posture here. Is that how many times do you think you've been submitted just because you have poor posture? How many times do you think you got submitted because you sacrificed your own posture? It wasn't even the other person doing it. You just went in with a bad spine and you made their job easier instead of going in with a strong spine. And it's quite interesting, like that idea of you fuck yourself up, you make it easier for the other person instead of just having this consciousness of what you're doing. So an old way I used to learn things at work was this idea of conscious competence. So there was 4 levels. There was unconscious incompetence. You don't know what you don't know. There was conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. So the example would be, if I was learning to drive a car, is when I'm like, I don't know, 11, 12 years old, and I'm looking at the car on the road and I'm thinking, I could probably drive that. It's got a wheel, I could probably get inside it. I'm unconsciously incompetent. I just don't know what I don't know. I then go have driving lessons for the first time. I get in the car and I know it's a stick, because that's all we have in the UK. It's got steering wheel, indicators, and all those like gubbins and pedals. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't drive this at all. I'm now consciously incompetent. I know I can't drive this car. I then start having lessons, but I've got to think about what I'm doing. I think about, how I'm going to turn the corner and changing gears. Like, I know that probably doesn't carry over here that well. Now I'm consciously competent. And then over years of driving, I then become unconsciously competent. I can do other things because I'm driving on automatic. You got to think, right, when we're doing this stuff now, if this is weird for you, you are consciously competent. You are just about driving your car. The other person's going to try and distract you. They're going to try and put the GPS on, fuck with the radio, jump in front of the windshield. I don't know, don't drive on pavements. They're going to try and distract you and make you forget about what you're doing, and you're going to crash. So this next part is, we're going to use our posture again, but we're going to put balance in there. And again, you've got to think that how often you sacrifice your own balance. God is a bit of a parasite, is that you think it's okay to fall over. Like sweeping jiu-jitsu people is easy, they like falling down. So I'm just going to get rid of that for the next 5 minutes. I'm just going to say to you, don't fall over. Like, I'm not going to give you any specific technique. I'm just going, how about you don't fall over today? Weird idea. So you're going to keep your posture, your spine's aligned, get a nice tripod into the floor, and you're going to ignore them. Like, you're trying to drive your car, fuck them. And they're going to try and sweep you and throw you around a little bit and try and break your posture. They're going to try and distract you. And they're going to go, no, sorry, Satan, not today. So, you're a good man, sir. So I'm going to ignore him. I'm just going to be here. And he's going to try and sweep me, attack me, and all these other things. And I'm just going to keep my balance and my posture. He can leg lock me, he can try and do whatever the hell he wants to me. Try and sweep me. Yeah, fuck him. Does that make sense? So just keep your balance, keep upright, keep your posture, ignore them. Don't try and pass or anything. Like, fuck them. Like, they're trying to distract you. You'll learn to drive. Okay? And feel how much harder jiu-jitsu is. Fighting someone who has, I'm not teaching you anything. I'm saying, how about you just have a strong back and don't fall over? And you all of a sudden go, fuck, jiu-jitsu's hard. Then you gotta think, what the fuck were we doing half an hour ago? So, go figure it out, see what you think, then come back to it in about 5 minutes. It looked like a whole lot of nothing was happening. Again, I haven't shown you anything. I just said, how about you just move like you're in the gym and don't fall over. Jiu-jitsu gets really hard. It then starts to inform like a lot of other situations you'll find yourself in jiu-jitsu. It's amazing how much of this sport is an unwritten rule book. Like the other person's supposed to do something, and you're supposed to then like act a certain way upon them. As soon as you start like stepping out the rules a little bit, those unwritten rules, it's like, oh, well, that's weird. So go look at Turtle, and essentially I was just in Turtle anyway. Usually, so historically I used to teach this idea of like closing up the gaps, especially in Turtle, to stop people taking your back. But this is what I mean by a weird jiu-jitsu rule set. Is normally if I'm if I'm against a jiu-jitsu person, so I'm in Turtle, normally he wants my back. So if I stick my arms in here, he's trying to get access to my back in some way. But this is under the assumption that I'm not going to stand up. So he's just going hunting in this position, and he's trying to figure out, right, well, I'm just going to take his back. But he's not holding me down. Why just get up? Like, Turtle's got such a terrible name in jiu-jitsu. Is throughout all of human history, doesn't matter where or when, we have wrestled as a species. Well, we've done three things. We've communicated, we've wrestled, and something. You put some human beings together, they find a way. It's like Jurassic Park. I don't think I saw that film properly. That's gonna tickle me, that is. Fuck. And throughout all of that, I always hit the same conclusion. You put someone on their back and they're dead. Like everywhere, everyone, all the time, there's always hit the same conclusion. A person on their back is done for. And then jiu-jitsu were like, no, it's cool. We like it. Like your ancestors hate you. Like they look down on you right now and go, the fuck. This is where my lineage went. So, but for my ability to get up is through Turtle. If my Turtle's shit, it's almost like an hourglass. Is I can have a huge amount of stand-up game. I can have a great ground game. But right in the middle is Turtle. Because I can't get up off the floor, really, without turning myself to the ground first to get up, which is a Turtle-esque position. And if that's terrible, then I can't join those two things together. And so it's a bottleneck and kind of have to open up and really understand. So I don't want to spend any time there, because if I'm against someone who's actually half decent and wants to fully attack me and break my posture, they'll wreck me in this position. It was interesting, I had Charles at my gym. Hello. And the way he attacked my students was like how I attack my students, which is completely different in Turtle. So if I'm thinking that Phil's not going to go anywhere and we're in the jiu-jitsu rulebook, I'm going to try and get hooks in because he isn't doing anything. But if I have any slightest idea that he's going to stand, I'm going to mistreat him completely. I'm going to break his posture, kneel on his legs, and start lifting him up here. Because now I know he can't stand. Now I can start actually attacking him. Because if there was an option that he could stand if I was here, I knew he just left. Oh, silly. So I have to keep his posture broken in that situation as he's trying to get up. So I wanted to feel that. I wanted to have one person just get up out of Turtle, just stand up and run away. And you're going to try and stop them, okay? And see what you have to do to stop them. See how much it involves attacking their posture to keep them down. Does that make sense? Because then, let's say, once you identify that problem, I can't really teach you here in like 45 minutes, but it's something that you then have to start opening up in your own time and go, right, if I want to mix up my ability to get on top and my ability to the ground together, I have to go through this position. So I have to open up that part of the bottleneck, and we'll talk a little bit about how after. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right, go feel it, and then we'll carry on. Off you go. So as soon as you stop, a smart person will start battering you into the ground because they know what, like, they're trying to limit your ability to get up. And so actually stopping in Turtle makes no sense. Because as soon as I stop, they solidify their position and I'm stuck. I'd rather just, as I'm, instead of like turning to front here, pausing, and then getting up and having this jiu-jitsuism, I just... Okay. But that's so you can play in your own time. One thing I want to add into it then, going back to this power and balancing, is, and it's weird seeing it as well, is there's a conversation about should you have the tops of your feet on the floor or your toes. So if I got the world's strongest man and I asked him to push a car, could he push a car? Probably. Could I throw the car up in the air? So without affecting the world's strongest man or a car, how can I stop him from being able to push the car?
Hit the brake.
Pardon?
Hit the brake.
No, like, I'm not going to touch the car. I'm not going to touch him. Like, in this scenario, without affecting him or the car, how can I stop the world's strongest man from pushing a car? Like, how can I make it impossible for him to do?
Keep your car away from him.
No, I can't touch him or the car.
Don't let him put his feet on the ground.
Pardon?
Don't let him put his feet on the ground.
Yeah. Ice. Just put him on fucking ice. Like, yeah, I'd like to see him try if his feet are slipping. And this then settles that debate of actually what do you do with your feet when on the ground? Is that all the, like, I could have the biggest engine. Like, I could be the world's strongest man. But my ability to generate power is based upon a connection to the ground somewhere. Right? Everything we do, there is a connection to the ground generating power for us. It's like a battery. And the goal of jiu-jitsu actually is to disconnect people from that battery. That's why we put people on their ass. It's because someone on their feet can push a car. They can generate a lot of power. Someone on their back can't. And that's why we then get past the legs. Because if I want to kick someone from down on the floor here, again, there's my ability to generate power through my legs. There's a battery somewhere, and it's here. It's my back in the ground. If I'm on a fucking skateboard, like, I could have the hardest kick in the world, but I'm going that way. And that's why you then pass the guard, because you get past that most dangerous part of the body that's still dangerous because it's still connected to the battery. And then we attack the arms and we go up the spine again. Does that make sense? So that's why we disconnect people from the ground. But if someone's connected to the ground, they're still generating power. It's like you could have a great engine and shit tires. Like, that's the goal, because we want to slash people's tires in jiu-jitsu. That's weird. That's a weird analogy. So when it comes to generating power again, and we're going to go back to these postures and this turtle and this guard posture, think about your feet and what you actually want to accomplish. Like, those like weird mat burns you got are just wipeout injuries. Because when you're like happy to like roll around on the ground and you're not generating much power anymore, like, you have to have your feet like this. But if you're someone who wants to generate power and keep someone down, it's there. Like, I want to be able to push and dig myself into the ground. So we're going to have a little bit of a spar. I don't know if that's a word. Person on the ground, I want to attack the person who's on top. We're going to start in a guard situation. Person on top, I want to focus on your engine, so that's your spine, and increasing how much power you can generate through your back. And think about your tires as well, and how that connects to the ground. And how much of that are you generating? Are you just pushing like this, which is that's nothing, or are you in the ground generating power? Does that make sense? And the other person is going to attack you, you're going to ignore them. Again, this idea of conscious competence. You're not going to let them get their hips above you, because gravity only goes that way, and I want gravity on my side. So you're going to get up as you need to keep them underneath you, and you're just going to keep your posture solid and keep your connection to the battery solid, and just keep putting pressure through them. Does that make sense? Feel what happens when you do that. Connect yourself, give yourself a good engine and good tires. And then next drill is we're going to shit in their engine and slash their tires. Cool? Cool. Right, a bit of sparring. Person on top should win, so it's not full sparring, it's just investigative sparring, okay? Live drilling, as it were. Off you go. So then, like, kind of further drive this point home is, like I said, we're now going to slash the tires and shit in the engine. By that I mean, that's it, all power is generated from the spine and the hips and the legs. So I started rock climbing probably about 6 years ago, and I wanted to get more grip for jiu-jitsu. I thought, those folks climbing up that wall, they look like they've got strong arms. I want to go get those strong arms too. And the more I went climbing, the more I realized that you push yourself up the wall with your legs and use your hands to keep your body close to the wall. So the hands are for fine detail and your legs are for climbing. And sometimes I'll wear jiu-jitsu t-shirts whilst I am at the climbing center, and there'll be folks coming up to me going, "Oh wow, I was thinking about starting jiu-jitsu because I thought it's good for your grip." I was like, no, it's not. It's actually really bad. Like, the more advanced you are in jiu-jitsu, the more you use your legs. I was like, oh shit, we're both terrible. So that's Spider-Man meme. And so if all the power you're generating, the more you use your legs, the more power you generate, the more efficient you are in jiu-jitsu. Your hands are for fine work. And so I want to shit in their engine. I want to limit how much power they can generate. So I want to fuck with their back and fuck with their hips at all times. And so a simple feeling for this is, say if Phil's in side control and he wants to roll away into turtle. Okay, so he rolls into turtle, yeah, you can get up. Okay, now I want to do the same thing, but I'm not going to let go of his hips. Go, 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 go. You can do it. Go for it. And I want to move around, but I'm not going to release his hip. So move. Everything he does, it's like having sugar in his gas tank. Everything's terrible. I mean, heck, the first thing you learn in jiu-jitsu, the shrimp, is essentially trying to get your hips free. And the amount you have to shrimp is relative to how close you are to your hips. If someone's got like their foot here, for example, like they're passing my guard, and he puts his foot here, they might have to shrimp as that. If his foot's here, I have to shrimp that much. But if he follows my hip, my shrimping is worth shit, because I want my hips back. So everything we do, we're trying to generate from our hips, and in jiu-jitsu we're trying to shut that down. And so I want to go back to that little sparring thing you just did. Person on top, again, focus on your balance and focus on your posture and your power generation. I want you to keep pressure on the other person's hips at all times. Do not let their hips go. If you can, bend their spine as well. By that I mean, so say if goes in half guard, I want to keep pressure through his hips if I can, so I've always got a connection. I want to just bend his spine. I either want to bend it, hyperextend it, or twist it. So if I can make his upper half go one way and his legs go the other way, that's good. If I can make his spine bend up in some way, he now tries to attack me. He can't generate as much power. He realizes, actually, I don't like this. He's bridging against my arm because he wants to realign his spine. It's not until I've taken it away from him he realizes actually how important that thing was. Now you can have an underhook on my leg and go for deep half, but if his spine is all bent up, go for it. No. Exactly. Now, he's a strong dude, but just because I put a bend in his spine, he's now not as powerful. So like I said earlier, I want to limit how much power they can create and maximize my own. This is what we're doing. It's all through posture. Posture my connection to the ground. So starting half guard is a really easy way to kind of see this in action. Bend up their spine, put block. I'm not pulling him in. As you saw there, there's a brilliant European coach called Wim de Putter. He's like, I call him the Viet Cong, because he puts you in a tiny bamboo cage that gets smaller. And he just puts his blocks on the floor, and then every time you move, he just makes it smaller. Yeah, you're like, fuck off, Vim. This is horrendous. So I'm not bridging him in. I'm not using muscle. I'm just putting these blocks on the floor and just making it smaller as he moves. As he relaxes and tries to shift, it gets smaller. I'm just trying to bend him up. Okay? So starting half is a good place to start from. Person on top, keep your posture, your balance. As we said, keep your connection to the ground. Attack the person on the floor, bend them up. I don't care how you do it. Bend them, hyperextend them, twist them. I couldn't give a shit. And if you pass, keep pressure on their hips at all times. Do not release their hips. Shit in their engine. If they try and get up, slash their tires. See what happens. Off we go. Now this is all I want to do. I just want to spend my time focusing on I'm consciously competent at this, and trying to put anything else in there, I suck. It starts to go out the window. When I start trying to think of attacks and submissions and everything like that, or even aggressively passing, everything kind of breaks down. So I have to like kind of dial it back in and realize that no, they're trying to distract me. Like they want me to break my posture, they want me to break my balance, they want me, if they're not even attacking it, I end up breaking it myself more often than not, which makes their life easier. And again, I haven't shown you anything. I literally said just align yourself and don't fall over. And then unalign them. And you've all gone, wow, that feels a lot harder. Something to consider when we stop sparring in like 10 minutes time. Is don't just forget this and then go back into sparring and go, I'm going to throw everything out the window, because then you make their life easier for them. The final part then is after playing a lot of this, I realized that your posture on the ground is just as important as your posture when you're upright. I want to align my spine when I'm on the ground. As you saw then, when you start to fuck with each other a little bit and like bend each other up, you're like, oh, I don't like this. You're trying to like put your back aligned again. Again, it's easier to break someone's posture when it's already broken. So think when you're in guard, how much are you misaligning your spine and allowing yourself to be attacked? Like, for example, if Phil's gonna stack me, if my head is bent up here, I misalign my spine. Like, I've been trying that since I was a kid. I couldn't do it. But that's because my head is off the ground. If I'm here, yeah, it makes it easier to bend me. If I align my spine, yeah, it's a lot harder. He's got to try and bend me up to be able to stack me. And I did that to myself by just having my head off the ground. Now it's gone. Same as if I'm playing half, is that my legs become more powerful the second I align my spine. So come down the floor, put some pressure. I'm keeping my back aligned. Now my legs are stronger. Second I collapse to my like back. Shit. So now I'm going to add that in, the person on the bottom. Be aware of your spine again. Like sometimes you can't avoid it. If you're inverting and shit like that, you have to bend yourself up a little bit. But that comes with a risk. Like you're taking a choice. It may work. I like inverting, but I may get headbutted in the dick, as JJ said, or I may end up sucking my own dick. Like, who knows? I don't know. Some things have their own benefits. So person on the bottom, align your spine, and then get that feedback from the person on top. What's it like attacking someone who has a strong back and now has strong legs? So half guards are getting a really good point to start with this. Make sense? So now it's going to be like really wooden jiu-jitsu. Like, both people doing this. Okay? Go through what it's like and then collapse your spine and then get that kind of like that feeling for both of like do normal and then do good posture. So shoulder blades down your back, align everything, strong hips, strong legs. Okay? Go feel it from the bottom of guard. And then that's pretty much it. Off you go. I've been doing Globetrotter camps now for 11 years. I came here first as a white belt. I've been doing it all the way through to black belt. So I remember doing that. I've been the mat rat that came to every single class. I remember being like a blue belt or purple belt and meeting Brad for the first time. That's how long I've been here. And I come to every class and I go home. I probably remember like 5%. Not that the fact that I had a shit memory, but it was the fact that I'd go back and I'd try and use things against my peers, against people who are as good as I am back in my home gym. I'd fail once and go, it doesn't work, and I'd go back to my A game. That's how you lose stuff in jiu-jitsu, is that it's very easy to get sucked into the rolling mentality of, I just want to win, I want to use my A game, I want to win, and all the things you learn get dropped. You need to use them against terrible people. Like if I went and used like, say if I figured something out and I tried to use it against one of my other black belts at home, I'd have the shit kicked out of me. I'd go, fuck that, and I'd never use it again. But that's because there's 1,000 things wrong with what I've just learned, and I don't know them all yet. And they're gonna pick any of those 1,000 things and break me. But if I go against like a day one white belt, they might pick 3 or 4 of those issues, and I go, oh shit, I didn't think of that, and I can solve those problems. And then I work my way back up to my black belt, so now I've got a working technique. But if I just gone straight in against my main friend and tried to use it, wouldn't have worked. And the amount of things I probably have abandoned over the years because of learning jiu-jitsu wrong. So if you've enjoyed this, don't just go use it against your peers and get fucked up and go, fuck it, doesn't work, and go back to your normal game. Because that's how things get dropped. Like, who here has done less than like 3 months or 4 months of jiu-jitsu? Pick on those guys. That's your own stupid fault. So try against them, like get some success, and then climb your way back up again. Okay? Don't just, you guys ain't gonna learn anything, sorry. Because like I said right at the beginning, we go to competition because control the variables of power, but this is an absolute division. Sometimes those numbers don't match up. Like other sports, I think horse racing, jockeys have to weigh in. That's hilarious to me. The fact that they have to get on tiny scales and get on the horse. It's because they're then measuring the horse, not the horse with the lightest jockey. Same with like even like car racing that we've talked about a few times. Like, I might go out on the weekend and drive Mini Coopers around. I don't. But I'm against other cars very similar to mine. It then doesn't make any sense for me to then practice against McLarens and then bitch that they're faster. Like, yeah, they're fucking faster cars. What do you think is going to happen? That makes sense? So in here, like, don't get salty just because stuff doesn't work against a high-level bout who's bigger and stronger than you. Like, do it against weak, small people first. And then build your way back up. If there's any other questions, I've got another class in the 2 days, Under Pressure, about crushing people. Let's me say, be nice to people and say, yeah, fuck them. So that's in 2 days' time. But thank you for this. If you want to grab me at any point on the mats, I'm mildly friendly, and I'll roll with anyone. But thank you, and can I get a photo? Because I love coming to the US.
Yeah.
And it's weird for me. So yeah, under the banner, and thank you.